one between Blacklist International and RSG Philippines. Experience the power of smart 5G in over 4,900 sites nationwide. Switch now to experience the difference. Visit smart.com.ph/MNP to learn more. Hashtag muling lumakad batatag and hashtag Sibol powered by Smart ang ating official hashtags for Sibol 2022 National Team Selection. Right off the bat, tatanggalin ang Estes pick ni Venus sa side ng RSG. Meanwhile, for Blacklist International, tatanggalin nila ang Hayabusa ni Demon Kai.
Pagkatapos nung one and only game ni Oh My Venus sa Estes, sabi na ng mga lahat na katapat ng Blacklist International, ayaw na namin ibigay yan. Kasi yung second chance factor ng isang Estes, the healing, the clutch healing, giving a second chance in team fights na kung hindi pabor yung umpisa para sa Blacklist International, if the Estes is alive, well, Blacklist International will be able to turn it around. RSG as well, taking out the Aldous option for Danry James Del Rosario. 2-0 right now on the Aldous. And matagal na natin nakita sa MPL Season 7, this is one of the best picks for one of the best junglers in the world.
Well, I mean, during right now, dahil kakapanalo pa lang ng world stage, pwede nating sabihin na best jungler in the world hanggang matapos yung M4. Pero right now, RSG, Blacklist International, Valentina will be the second ban here for Blacklist International. And I feel like these are very powerful bans coming in from Coach Bonchan. No? Alam naman natin kung gaano kasakit talaga ang Valentina. But for RSG, they are really targeting, Coach Panda, targeting the Wais tandem by taking out that Estes. And sinabi mo na rin yung Aldous na undefeated undefeated pa rin right now sa kamay ni Wais. Ano kaya ang magiging third ban dito ng RSG Philippines? They're gonna take away the glue, which has been a power pick for a lot of teams in Sibol 2022.
May isang record na si Dominic sa paggamit ng glue sa XP lane, and yes, it is a power pick, and in fact, it is one of the, or if not the most picked on the blue side. 11 first blue side picks for the glue, and seeing this means that RSG want to put a power pick on the hands of, well, if not Aqua, definitely Iaknu, who of course it is gonna be a reunion of Wais and Iaknu for this matchup. So they're just taking away one of the best picks right now for disrupting backline heavy compositions. Blacklist International, balikan ko yung bans nila, sobrang bilis lang. Ilang beses na natin na pag-usapan kung bakit tinatanggal ang Valentina, not just the ultimate, the mechanics that it brings to the table pag nasa laning stage ka. Ang taas ng possibility na baka ang laki ng lead ng Valentina sa lane. And of course, taking away the Hayabusa from the hands of Demon Kite. 2-1 yung record niya so far dito sa Sibol with the Hayabusa. Pero, lahat ng games na yon, sobrang high impact ang Hayabusa play niya. And of course, taking away the Lilia as an option for Aqua leaves the Paquito first pick available para sa RSG. Most likely mapupunta yan sa kamay ni Demon Kite, giving them an early to mid or even early to late high impact jungler. And of course, taking away a possible pick for Wais na nakita na natin, well, Wais can play a really mean Paquito. But these two picks, these are classic Blacklist.
Yeah, Flying Dinosaur combo, Mathilda and Barats locked in for Blacklist International. And what I love about this Barats pick is shared to between two roles. It could potentially go to the XP lane, the hands of Dominic, or pwede rin siyang mapunta sa kamay ni Wais na nasa loob naman ng jungle. So this is a flex pick. In fact, the Mathilda could also be flexed in a position 4. So a lot of flex picks already showed here for both squads. Let's see if RSG would like to take that Phobius away from Dominic, considering na napakalakas na pick nun in the hands of Blacklist International. Instead, they're taking the Esmeralda as a counter measure for that Phobius. So hindi na makapag-Phobius tong Blacklist, considering that this Esmeralda is a big counter pick.
Yeah, the Esmeralda, gonna be a lot of pressure here on to Kenji for being able to get those items right, at saka matimingan niya na maayos yung entry niya. Nakita natin, even though Esmeralda is a very solid first 3 picks, or just a very solid pick overall, na there have been games throughout Sibol na nahirapan ng isang Esmeralda, currently in the red with the win rate. Out of 12 picks, only 5 wins so far for the Esmeralda. So RSG, knowing that exactly why they took away the glue. May power pick nga sila in the Sicilian in the back line who can actually go into the hands of either Aqua or Iyaknu na pinakita na ng Next Play Evos that you can definitely play a great gold lane Sicilian. They've shown that here, so that's still a flex pick for RSG. Meanwhile, Blacklist International, this is going to be a Barats jungle dahil pinili nila ang Uranus para sa XP lane. Gonna be going up against the Esmeralda na yan yung fight forever matchup na sobrang familiar na tayo dyan.
Men, itong Esmeralda and the Uranus matchup nga sa XP lane, pangmatagalan talaga. Yung tipo na forever na silang nandun sa lane hanggang may mga dumaan na ganks. So speaking of ganks, no, meron na tayong junglers on the hands of RSG and Blacklist International considering that this Paquito will be going to the hands of Demon Kite. Meanwhile, sa Blacklist naman ay Barats. Ano kaya magiging sunod na bans dito ng Blacklist? They're gonna take away that Popol and Koopa na nilalaro ni Iyaknu sa side of RSG, and for sure very healthy ang stat line ni Iyaknu over this Popol and Koopa pick.
Dito natin makita yung pag-timingan ng bans ng dalawang teams since hindi pa sila nagpapakita ng gold laners. Again, the Sicilian pick for RSG is not a sure gold lane pick. They can choose to either remove either the Brody or the Clint, but then remember, after this banning phase, the first pick will go to Blacklist International. So dapat mag-ingat din ang RSG Philippines na hindi sila mawalan ng viable gold lane option so far. And in terms of the most picked gold laners, actually it's Clint and Brody that we have for our tournament so far. But now RSG, respecting the fact na undefeated pa rin si Edith dito sa Sibol 2022 National Team Selection, and that Haji has a 2-0 win-loss record for that hero.
Haji, definitely one of the first few pro players to pick up that Edith and show it on the competitive stage. Kailangan respetuhin ng RSG Philippines ang Edith ni Haji. And not only that, we know him for his show plays. So hindi na tayo magtataka if RSG decides to either steal away that show or even ban it for their 5th ban. But right now, Blacklist International, nabangan natin kanilang 5th ban. They are targeting Iyaknu in this game by taking away that Alice. Ibig sabihin nito, limitado na ang pwedeng ilabas ni Iyaknu, and I feel like Harith is a viable option still to take para dito kay Iyaknu.
Yeah, and actually even dito para kay Al already has one great win onto the Harith. So if it's not gonna be the Harith, of course our two most viable marksmen are still available. So either the Clint and Brodies could get picked up next here. That's what it's looking to be here. And RSG, tananggal naman nila ang Eve, respecting the Haji hero so they can put into the table, knowing that this is most likely going to be Matilda para kay Oh My Venus. So, mid lane pick and gold lane pick here for Blacklist International. Pwede rin sila magpalit, baka maging position for Matilda si Oh My Venus, tapos pumulit sila ng isang tank roam type para kay Haji. The show is still open if they want to take it, considering how RSG Philippines, they're a backline heavy comp. It's available for them, or they can pick up something like the Ruby. So they pick up the Brody, so that most likely means yung Clint, or baka nga maybe even the Gary mapunta sa kamay ng RSG.
Yeah, and there are a lot of options for RSG this point. The Brody is already most likely going to the hands of Owl on the gold lane. Kung Blacklist ang usapan, antay na lang natin kung ano nga bang kukunin ng RSG. Sinabi mo na, the Clint is open. Pwede silang magkaroon ng classic gold lane duel here. Great prediction, Reptar. Hihintay na lang natin ang 5th pick ng RSG Philippines. This is most likely going to be a position 5. Pwede nilang agawin ng show, pero mukhang Lolita ang gusto nilang kunin.
Beautiful Lolita pick up there for RSG, considering how one of the main things that RSG have to watch out for is the Brody. Makakatulong yung pag-stun ni Lolita, and that's a lot of AoE damage and crowd control na pwede ibigay with the ultimate. If Oh My Venus gets sort of outplayed, we've seen it before wherein, well, for all Matilda players actually, pag masyado maaga yung circling eagle, medyo off yung positioning, pag masyado malalim yung pag-entry ng circling eagle ni Oh My Venus dito, then there is gonna be a chance that Lolita can separate RSG Philippines and Blacklist International from one another with just one Numenon Blast charge. Papag-isipan dito ng Blacklist, ano pili nila, and so they are going to be going for the Farsa. Considering that this is a composition that has two really strong range pokes in the Clint and Sicilian, at tamang pick to para sa Blacklist International, pick up the Farsa to burst it down from range.
Yeah, Farsa definitely one of the, still, despite the nerfs, one of the more popular picks here for a lot of mid laners in Sibol 2022. And ayun na nga, Reptar, no, we've talked about it, the Eve Farsa receiving nerfs, it didn't mean na bababa ang usage rate nila. Napakalaking bagay pa rin kasi nang na-offer nila sa table. I feel like earlier, kahit natalo yung Bren, it was still picked up by a few. The Farsa still dealt the damage that should be dealt by a Farsa. So, come this game, for sure, this Farsa, picked with Blacklist, will be used up to its full extent. Now, Blacklist versus RSG Philippines. This is the first game of a best-of-5 series. So, para sa mga fans dyan, make sure to share the stream right now habang hindi pa nagsisimula ang ating game number 1. Dahil mahaba-habang series to, panigurado. The top 2 teams currently in Sibol 2022 National Team Selection powered by Smart about to duke it out. Renmar, considering na may Sicilian ang RSG Philippines, do you think Blacklist would try to end this early?
Yeah, definitely. Well, actually, both teams have a good case of doing everything they can to end it early. If it gets to the point where we're in the late game and it's still pretty even, both teams have a really good case of just being to hold out for a long time. You have a lot of poke and range damage sa side ng RSG, but at the same time, para sa Blacklist International, they have a tanky front line in the Barretts and the Uranus. The fact that they have the Farsa and the Brody in the backline means makakadepensa din sila na maayos. So, in terms of what the lineups bring to the table, medyo magkaparehas nga eh. They have pretty similar strengths, pretty similar weaknesses. Yung titingnan ko na dito is yung magiging matchup between the Esmeralda and the Uranus, kung paano makakagalaw dito si Kenneth Singson Villa. We know him as Kenji, gold medalist Kenji on that Esmeralda, and of course versus Kyle Soto, Dominic on that Uranus. That's going to be a matchup to look out for.
Yeah, and si Dominic, no, Kyle Soto yung pangalan niya. Meron siyang kapangalan na parang sikat din na basketball player. Para sa mga hindi nakakaalam dyan, Kyle Soto, I think a child prodigy, one of the tallest children that we know. Fun fact, same kami ng school nung high school. Nagulat din ako, akala ko ka-age ko. High school na ako, men. Grade 3 pa lang siya. Mas matangkad na siya sa akin. He's a 7 foot right now. So, just a small trivia. Kyle Soto, of course, is Dominic. Ibang Kyle Soto tong nasa Sibol. Di ba? And, men, eto, Blacklist versus RSG Philippines. RSG Philippines season, let's talk about RSG a little bit, no? Season 8, we saw them. They were fairly young, yet they put out real good results. No, we already knew that Demon Kite was a superstar in the making. And do you think this Sibol 2022, ito na ba yung hinog na Demon Kite or may mas ihihinog pa ba to?
Feeling ko nung season 8 parang hinog na talaga si Demon Kite eh. It's just right now, it's refinement. It's turning a diamond into more diamonds or more of a diamond. And if I'm not mistaken, si Coach Bon mismo nagsabi na he has very high praise para kay Demon Kite. Seeing him playing, seeing how he moves, na sinasabi niya na this is one of the pillars of the future of the Mlbb scene. And kitang-kita naman, isipin mo, si Demon Kite, si Jonard Caranto, pumasok siya sa MPL Philippines Season 8 as a rookie. And then, over the course of the year, we weren't really sure, like, sino yung shot caller, who was the one mainly calling the shots. And then, apparently, it's the rookie, it's the jungler, who is one of the most vocal members of RSG Philippines. So, the confidence is there, and we're seeing it now, the evolution of Demon Kite. There's a lot of people, a lot of fans, galing sa lahat na iba't ibang teams, na kahit hindi sila fan ng RSG, sinasabi nila, Demon Kite is the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, he is the real deal, and that's those are heavy words coming in from Bonchan, no? One of the futures of Mlbb Philippines, men. That is some big praise na kailangan patunayan ni Demon Kite as we enter the first game between Blacklist International and RSG Philippines. Land of Dawn we go. This is game number 1 of a best of 5.
We shouldn't forget about the Barretts of Wais. This is a World Championship winning Barretts. It is the Barretts wherein in Game 4, was able to start that match off against Onyx Philippines in the World Championship with a 2 versus 1 outplay, leading them with 2 early kills. So dapat mag-ingat yung RSG Philippines na hindi magbigay sa early kills dito sa Barretts. Pero parehas din yan para sa Blacklist. Di talaga sila pwede magbigay ng early kills dito para kay Demon Kite on the Pakito. So, question is, are both teams gonna try to get a win elsewhere while they give the turtle? Meanwhile, Oh My Venus almost getting taken down by Light.
That is very risky coming in from Oh My Venus. John Marvilleluna almost dying in that engage. Pero mukhang may konting response naman na manggagaling dito kay Haji. Now, this is going to be a fairly silent game so far, but Turtle has already spawned at sinimulan na rin to ng isang full stack Wais with this Barretts.
Yeah, and so Blacklist International and RSG Philippines
ay magkakaroon ng maliit na engage. Turtle started by Wais, already 3/4 HP. Nabibigyan na ng vision ni Light, and Light will be there to contest a little bit. This is a nice triangle offense coming in from RSG Philippines, but the Turtle will be secured by Wais. Here comes Demon Kite, the damage is real. The Esmeralda trying to soak up more damage. The better airstrike comes in, and they need to run away. The circling
on, pero si Al delikado sa top. Oh,
Yaknu almost falling down. Here comes Haji. Here comes the passive. He dodges it, but Circling Eagle. The Queen says no. That's another kill for Blacklist International. Double kill pa nga para kay John Marvilleluna. And now Blacklist International is ahead by 4 kills.
Ito yung dream early game start na gusto ng Blacklist International. Demon Kite, luckily, was able to get the last hit on the Scaled Lizard. So, di pa siya ganoon ka behind kumpara kay Wais, but that is 1 level ahead. Wais did get the turtle earlier. 4 kills already for Blacklist. Dapat mag-ingat dito ang RSG Philippines. They need to make a play para makukuha sila ng control at momentum dito sa laban. 36 seconds bago mag-spawn yung turtle. Now for RSG Philippines, again the question is, are they gonna contest the turtle? It is still a 3K gold lead for Blacklist. This early on in the game, hindi pa gano'n ka bigat yung difference na yon. But they have to consider that kasi kung Blacklist, kung sila magkukuha ng turtle, may chance yung RSG Philippines to get resources elsewhere.
Yeah, so Matilda just scouting it out a little bit, burning the Circling Eagle as well. Parang medyo nagalit ata kay Light. And now they are all rotating towards Mr. Manao's lane. Yaknu already losing out the first tier turret on the gold lane. Now, Blacklist International, may pressure sila around this turtle area because of that rotation. Beautiful play from Blacklist.
Mukhang i-contest dito ng RSG Philippines. Yung turtle, Demon Kite will try to go for the red tree.
Yeah, Demon Kite, maghahanap ng angulo. He's gonna go in, pero Wais na makakapag-secure ng turtle. Now RSG, or they are forced to back out. Genji, tanking a lot of damage, pero healthy pa rin naman. Ang Esmeralda, here comes the torn apart memory. He's still alive. RSG Philippines failed to execute that turtle, pero walang namatay sa kanila.
Clean take for Blacklist International. Oh, this is bad for RSG Philippines.
That almost another kill here in Blacklist International. Within the 6 minutes of the game, they are exerting a lot of pressure against RSG Philippines.
And you really have to praise John Marvilleluna, Oh My Venus, for giving Light a hard time to reposition. Yung lahat nakikita natin with Oh My Venus maximizing the blooms, trying to find where Light is, trying to force him to go back. he understands that, uy, nakita ko yung mga previous games ni Light, ang malaki yung bagay binibigay niya para sa RSG Philippines, sa impormasyon, sa mga setup possibilities. So, hindi ko papabayaan si Light na makagalaw na maayos dito, and Light having a difficult time positioning, getting info for RSG Philippines because of what Oh My Venus is doing.
Definitely nice corrosive strike coming in from Owl. Light has to survive, has to flicker away, and that is a flicker born out of the position 5 of RSG Philippines.
Right now, RSG Philippines should be happy that Aqua does not have any deaths. Pero yung masakit dito, yung mga tore nila, ang bilis na napatumba. Wala na silang first tier towers, meaning that if this is gonna be a late game, it's going to be a very, very late game. Sobrang mahabang laro to give Aqua the space and the time to farm up, but another kill away from the screen.
An off-cam kill na manggagaling sa Blacklist International. RSG Philippines yet to find blood in this 7-minute game. Nahihirapan sila makahanap ng kill, but Dominic on the back line out, taking a lot of damage coming in from that Sicilian. And now, this might just be their first kill. Out, flickers out. Makakapag-torn apart memory, circling Eagle to Mama. And that's Demon Kite falling down once again. Mukhang makakapag-stun dito ng isa. The Sicilian still dealing average damage for RSG Philippines. This has got to slow down. Kailangan pabagalin ng RSG Philippines to.
RSG Philippines trying to find any openings, but the Blacklist International formation and defense. Siyado magaling flicker! Oh, munti ka na mahuli!
Flicker! Ang little aggressive for Haji. Na-stun mid-air dito ni Katipon. Light is looking for a play, and Dominic will protect Haji.
Isa sa mga malaking bagay kung bakit hindi nakakuha ng kill yung RSG Philippines doon sa skirmish kung saan nahuli si Demon Kite, si Wais ay nasa may orange buff ng RSG kung saan nandun din si Kenji. Kung makadaan doon si Kenji, there could have been a chance RSG Philippines took that fight, but since Wais was blocking the way, well, we saw what happened, Demon Kite going down. RSG Philippines trying to slow down the pace, but then at the same time, yung Blacklist International, hindi nila pinapayagan yung RSG Philippines na bagalan yung laro. Ang bilis pa rin ng tempo dito ng Blacklist. They're still trying to find openings elsewhere. A lot of pressure across the lanes. They know for a fact that they have to keep this up. At hindi dapat sila magbigay ng opening para sa RSG Philippines at all, because the capability or the chance of RSG Philippines lineup to punish into the mid-game, late game, pag si Aqua at si Aknu may mga items na, nakahabol na sa gold, it's a good possibility.
And RSG Philippines, no, they're trying their best to defend this. In fact, they even find Venus, pero wala pa rin talaga silang makuwang kill, and they are forced to be on the defensive end ng buong early game na to. 9 minutes in, they're still looking for their first objective, their first kill. Feathered airstrike na cancel dito. Nice sanguine claws na mumula kay Aqua, pero Torre muna ang sabi ng Blacklist International, and they get another turret. RSG Philippines still struggling in this early game.
The Farsa with the hot start right now, giving so much problems for RSG Philippines. Isa sa mga rason kung bakit nahirapan sila ngayon makahanap ng puta sa depensa ng Blacklist. Kada galaw nila, kada play na gusto nila i-execute, isang feathered airstrike or isang combo ng Curse of Crow para may mahuli na stun, ma-burst down dito ni Haji, biglang ma-force back yung RSG Philippines kasi sobrang liit ng window of opportunity nila para makukuha ng burst, para makukuha ng pick-off dito sa side ng Blacklist. Dominic, baka mahuli dito ng Demon Kite.
He's nag-consecration na ata, so he's regening a lot of his life. But look at the damage coming in from Demon Kite. Alam mo naman na napakasakit talaga ng double jab combo ng isang Pakito. Pero habang nangyayari ang lahat ng yon, Lord ay sinisimulan na ng Blacklist International at posibleng uncontested ito. In fact, uncontested nga ang first Lord of the game for Blacklist.
Free Lord talaga mangyari dun sa scenario na yon dahil si Dominic, he was a threat in the top lane, at dahil inhibitor na lang naiwan doon para sa RSG Philippines, mahirap para talaga para sa kanila na mag-contest doon sa Lord. So RSG Philippines just taking what they can get in this game. with the item check, may Lightning Truncheon na at Clock of Destiny ang Sicilian. At this point, dahil naka-build na ng Athena's Shield, dito si Wais, may Athena's Shield na din dito si Oh My Venus, the Sicilian will still need a lot more time. Sobrang taas pa ng lead at ng gold gap between Blacklist and RSG Philippines.
Yeah, and speaking of gold gap, no, isang full item ang lamang ng Farsa against the Sicilian, building the Holy Crystal as well. Here comes the Feathered Airstrike. Wala pa namang mahanap, pero mukhang pang zone out lang for this Lord push. Dominic standing a lot of damage. Kailangan niya pumesto ng konti para makapag-regen. And they took what they can. And umalis na lang sila. This is a very disciplined play coming in from Blacklist International. Hindi na sila nagstay doon.
Thunderbelt now picked up here for Wais, and mahirap ang comeback scenario dito ng RSG Philippines. Though again, sinabi ko yung lineup nila, they have a good chance of being able to clear waves, but this is a battle of snowballs at Blacklist International got to snowball way faster kumpara sa RSG Philippines.
Yeah. 12 minutes in, here comes the Circling Eagle, lands on 2. Si Light ay buhay na buhay pa rin. Kailangan nilang umalis sa bandang Torre na to dahil medyo masakit. They go back to the mid lane. Kinat pala to ni Demon Kite. A nice macro move from RSG Philippines.
Pero si Demon Kite dapat mag-ingat dito. Hanapin dito ni Wais. Kung natin makakatipi pa siya, abot. He will be able to get away just in time. Munti ka na yun.
Munti ka na yun. Nagtago-taguan pa sila ni Wais. Pero habang nagtatago siya, nakakuha na ang kanyang orange buff light. Namatay bago pa masama na Circling Eagle. Ba't ang damage coming in from Sicilian? Demon Kite kailangan tumakbo. The Brody finishes him off. And now Blacklist International, they get 8 kills to RSG's 0. Munti ka nang makakuha ng first kill of the game, mga RSG.
But still, dahil mataas na yung gap in terms of the levels and in terms of the items, and Oh My Venus was able to get away just in time, guiding wind, helping him get out. Ng RSG Philippines, they can only stand and watch and defend. Uy, muntikan pa nga mahuli si Ako. Grabe talaga si Haji sa laro na to. Salik imam.
The flicker, the Circling Eagle in, the turret is down, and that's 2 inhibitors down for the side of RSG Philippines. Guiding wind palabas. They are taking one objective and not staying. They go back. Grabe.
Again, ito yung sinabi ko for a moment kanina na this is the battle of the snowballs. Yes, both teams, both compositions, meron silang mga pyesa na pang late game, pang scaling, or mid to the late game. But there is also a high possibility that kung sino man yung nagkaroon ng mas magandang umpisa sa laban ay makakakuha ng control for the mid game and then maybe for the whole of the game. Both teams had that, and it's just in this game nakita natin it was Blacklist International who had the dream start na sinabi ko kanina.
Yeah, and for some reason, Blacklist International, they do stop taking that Lord, no? 1/3 HP na lang, that could have been easily taken by Blacklist, but I feel like ayaw nilang kumbaga ituloy kasi alam nilang nandun lang si Demon Kite at medyo malayo pa ang kanilang Uranus. But right now, itutuloy na nila dahil sino-solo ng Uranus. The total Delar move na ginagawa ng Uranus sa loob. The German cut maneuver by Dominic. And now the Lord will be free because of his unbelievable zone out. Now Dominic might just pay the price here. Consecration, and he's gonna guiding wind out. Blacklist International still not giving any kills. Or in fact, anything to RSG bukod sa isang torre sa taas.
Grabe, parang nung sa scene na yun, pwede mo na maglagay ng ski sa pangalan ni Dominic. Si Dominic ski na yan eh. Grabe yung pag-cut niya. Nung nakatakas pa nga, tinulungan pa nga siya ni Mlbb makatakas doon. And again, Blacklist International, I like the patience that they're showing, still respecting the possibility na RSG Philippines can turn this around kung hindi sila mag-ingat. RSG Philippines, tingnan natin kung ano gagawin nila dito sa depensa.
Oh, here comes the Feathered Airstrike. Owl mukhang babagsak ata pero buhay pa rin. Anong nangyayari? Here comes the... ano yun, pangalan ng tayo ulti, Brody, napasabog na isa. Here comes the Lord in the mid lane. Nagkakalbuhan na nga, 2 inhibitor turrets down. They're going in for the push. Circling Eagle dito sa likod, kasama ang dinosaur. At tinulak na rin palayo. Here comes the ultimates coming in from Blacklist International, and they are just going at it, numbing at the base. That is game 1.
Victory! International! If I'm not mistaken, we go back to the stats.